Hey staff, today we are meeting to talk about Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, also known as FERPA, among our school with our students. FERPA is an act that prevents schools from sharing student data without parental consent, and I'm going to go more in depth in this in the next few slides. In regards to what is protected under FERPA, student grades, immunization and health records maintained by the school, disciplinary records, student progress reports, academic or physical testing results, grade point average, and attendance records are all protected and covered under FERPA. So, who exactly is granted the rights under FERPA? Well, parents of students below the age of 18, and then once a student turns 18, the rights go to them. Although parents who claim their children as dependents on their taxes also have the rights to their students' private information. A few common FERPA violations. When throwing away old student records, make sure that you shred them first. When schools are working with vendors, be sure that those vendors are FERPA compliant, otherwise the school will be at fault if the vendor misuses students' education records. And be cautious on social media on what you post regarding students and their private information. It's important to know what is allowed under FERPA. Schools may disclose directory information without consent, but they are required to allow parents and eligible students a reasonable amount of time to request that the school not disclose directory information about them. On the next slide, I will talk about directory information and what is included. Directory information can include a student's name, their address, their telephone number, email address, a photograph of them, their birth date, their current grade level, enrollment status, sports that they play, weight and height if they do play sports, dates of attendance, and the name of their previous school or schools. So how can you handle FERPA in the classroom? Well, first, be careful with the technology you use in your lessons and make sure they're not websites asking for your students' personal information. Also, keep any student data you have secure and in a safe place. And lastly, be aware when responding to access requests and you know all your students' legal guardians. At Indian Hills, there are a few important things we can do to make sure we're following FERPA guidelines. First, we can raise FERPA awareness. We can know the rights, protections, and exceptions of FERPA. We can be sure to train all school employees like I'm doing now. And we can be sure to choose compliant vendors. Lastly, I wanted to share with you our current district policy on FERPA. The policy handbook states that unless the information collected from students is designated as directory information, no information gathered about students shall be released to third parties without the express written consent of the parent or eligible student.